almost were tricked by a guy back in 1997 who was coming to the briefings I set up for Congress back then. And it turned out he was telling a tall tale. And my military advisor at that time was at a bar, and he started talking about stuff that this guy knew absolutely was false. So I had him escorted off the premises. So, you basically get one bite at the apple with us at telling something that ends up to be nonsense. So what happened is that when he got to the site, there was about a 6x6 pod, and they pulled it up on the ship. And it wasn't the whole craft. The whole craft had gone down, but apparently there was some sort of one molded thing. And there were 4, I'm going to use his language, little men that looked like the color of a Sicilian, but 39 inches tall, no hair, and also no external ears, no pinna, flaps, very fine featured. But the reason he contacted me, and this is why this is so funny, I've debriefed over 1,000 men like this. He said, I can't figure out how they got in and out of their uniforms. So they had a one-piece uniform, now no zipper and no buttons, and no visible way they could get them out of this thing. And he says, how do they put them on? Anybody having exotic materials, clearly referring to extraterrestrial type materials, technologies, bodies, those have to be disclosed and turned over to the legal U.S. government, or they will then be subject to prosecution criminally. So that's a 6-month window now. So that clock has started.
And you're also going to make all of this, which a lot of it already is, open source information.
Anyone who says the U.S. government is not in possession of all the facts and the actual intelligence to get to the bottom of this is a liar or ignorant. They're either a liar or they're ignorant, because that was handed off 3 weeks ago, all of it. So there's actually no excuse now. The only excuse they'd have now is that they're part of a cover-up, in which case they should be prosecuted. And I'm saying even the people in the Aero office and the Pentagon, they either move on this and do it with integrity, or they should be prosecuted. We've proven what they are. Well, I have 755 whistleblowers.
You have 755 whistleblowers?
Yeah. I mean, this archive is unbelievable.
You had mentioned that you would want to debate Lou Elizondo.
Oh, I'd be happy to. I mean, someone brought that up a couple years ago. I don't have any animus towards him personally. I just know what his role and function is, because I was given a heads up on it as soon as he emerged out of the Pentagon and stood up his operation with this young guy I used to hang with, Tom DeLonge of Blink-182. He'd stay at my house in Virginia. But what you expect counterintelligence and disinformation agents to do is to do exactly that. When you detonate a nuclear device or there's an accident, everyone knows what an EMP is. We've talked about electromagnetic pulse. There's also a type of scalar pulse that goes out that literally rips through space-time, that disrupts interstellar communication and travel. This is why I was talking to Gordon Crichton, who is an MI6 guy and a military intelligence guy in the United Kingdom who's passed away, but he's one of our witnesses. What he said was basically when we did that at the first atomic bomb explosion, it actually was like kicking a hornet's nest. Now, Edward Teller and Oppenheimer, they didn't know that when one of those things would go off, that it would create this kind of pulse. So this began to be a huge red flag went up over the earth. Warning. This is a group of, primitive, emerging civilization that is a threat to themselves and a threat to others out there.